The Women's Leadership Institute in the Auburn University College of Liberal Arts is pleased to present Leaders Educating Through Discussion. We hope you will take a moment after you watch our presentation to add your own voice to the dialogue on our website, auburn.edu/womensleadership.
We got a very special treat for you today. Miss Corryn Zimmerman came in here from Stuttgart, Germany. She flew in this weekend, and she is somebody who sat here like you 17 years ago. She's had a marvelous career, very exciting international career, very exciting life, and we saved her for last. I booked her already over Christmas because I really truly hope that this is the last inspiration you need to make something of your life. Ms. Zimmerman was actually one of my students a long time ago, and drinking over Christmas, of course, you know, she lives in Germany, so I gotta make sure I train her when she's here that she doesn't forget how that works. So Corryn said to me, I said to her, you know what, Corryn? When you were in my class, I was actually a little younger than you are now. And she looked at me and she said, I can't be that old. So like, thanks a bunch, and I want you to remember this, you know, 17 years from now. That's what you're going to be thinking, but it's going to happen before you know it. So, today, Miss Zimmerman graduated with a degree in international business in 1998. And today, she is the director of marketing for Carestream, formerly known as Kodak. She lives in Stuttgart, and she's responsible right now for, I just learned, Europe, Africa, the Middle East, and Russia. So it just so happened, like I said, she flew in Saturday. She had a meeting with the headquarters on Monday in Atlanta. And so, as you have it, talking with the big boss, she got promoted to be the global director as of this week. And now she's also responsible for the United States of America, Asia, and Latin America. Please help me welcome Ms. Corryn Zimmerman.
Thanks, Anna, for the warm welcome. And there's a reason I'm on the floor. I like to walk a lot. Also, I'm not very good with stairs, so it's safer that I stay down here anyway. I'm really grateful that Anna invited me to come and speak to you guys, because I know this is the first year of the core program, and I think it's really great that Auburn is doing this. You guys look around what's going on around you in this area from an international perspective. The opportunities, if you're interested in international business, international economy, finance, culture, this area of Alabama, of all places, is so booming and growing. Georgia, I don't know if you guys heard, Mercedes corporate headquarters is going to move to Atlanta this year. That's going to be hundreds of new corporate jobs, similar to mine, marketing jobs in the automotive business in this area, if international business ends up being your desire. So I just wanted to spend some time talking to you guys about who I am, where I come from. That's not the fascinating part. The good part will be what it's like to live and work in another country, and kind of how I got to the place that I'm at right now. Before I start, though, I do want to say, if anybody here has an interest in German international business and an interest in an internship in Germany, after the session, if you would come and talk to me, that would be fantastic. Okay? So, who am I? I am from the Redneck Riviera, Lower Alabama, you guys call it, also known as Pensacola, Florida. I went to an international baccalaureate program from 1990 to 1994. Those of you that know it, you're forced to take a foreign language for 4 whole years. So I chose German because my last name is German. That was the only criteria for making that decision. And when I graduated international baccalaureate, I did what some people do. I fell in love, and I picked Auburn University because of that love. And I came here in 1994 to 1998, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. Didn't have any desire to know what I wanted to do. I met Anna, and she speaks very highly of me now, but I want you all to know she did not like me when I was a student. She was not nice to me when I was a student. So if she gives you a hard time, there's still hope for you, I promise. But how many of here have declared their majors already? Wow, that makes me feel pretty bad. Who hasn't declared a major yet? Okay, brave soul over there. So at 20 years old, I hadn't declared a major yet, and I was pretty stressed about it. Actually, I wasn't, but the university was. They were giving me a hard time. You have to declare, you have to declare. And I don't think at 20 anybody knows what they want to do. But I was fortunate enough to have people in my life like Anna, Barb, and other people that pushed me and said, why don't you do something with German? You already have 4 years, you like it, you like the culture, you like the people, you're good at finance, so maybe consider business. And Anna actually pushed me to do a Prüfung Wirtschaftsdeutsch International diploma. It's a mouthful, but it's a German business diploma from the Goethe Institute. I took it, I did it. It's the day after my 21st birthday at 6 a.m. in the morning, which kind of stunk. I got a great grade on it, and to this day, it's a foundational part of my resume for international business. And it was solely because somebody looked at me and said, you should do this. And I respected them and I listened to them. So, I got my degree in international business, and I graduated university. I moved to Atlanta, because I was in love, remember, and I got married. And for the first time since I was 13 years old, I didn't have to work. So I thought, great, I'm going to spend 2 months not doing anything. I'm going to get our apartment ready, I'm going to start our life together. 2 weeks later, I was bored out of my mind. So I started volunteering at the Ronald McDonald House. And there I met great people. Really, really, people that will touch your life, change your life. It was a wonderful experience. But most importantly, I met the executive director. And she knew my struggle to find a job. With a degree in German international trade, it's very specific. You know, Home Depot's not looking to hire you probably. So she took my resume. I didn't think anything about it. 2 weeks later, I got a call from the president of Porsche Cars North America's secretary. And his question, or her question was, do you speak German? I do. Can you come in for an interview tomorrow? Yeah. The interview consisted of 2 questions. Do you speak German? Yeah. Do you understand them? Do you get their culture? Or do you get how they... Yeah, I do, kind of. Okay, can you start next week? A week later, I started as an inventory coordinator of Porsche Cars North America. Great job. Right out of school, you know, entry level, I'm importing cars from Porsches from Germany through an AS400 old system. Picking out colors and what we want for the customers. So I do that for a while, and I decide I want to learn. I want to find out what else is going on in business. So I start connecting and networking with people in the company. The finance department, I start spending some time with them. I realize, wow, this is really boring. I don't want to do this. So then I start hanging out with the marketing team, and I quickly realize this looks like fun. Driving cars, going to trade shows, customers. So after about 9 months of networking and interacting with the marketing team, a position opened up because somebody left, and I was fortunate enough that they gave me that position. I applied, and I became the new marketing specialist for Porsche. And that began my 16-year career so far in marketing. And at some point in that 7.5 years that I was at Porsche, they also sent me over to Germany because I had the benefit of speaking the language, and a lot of people in our company didn't. They sent me over to work on a project at the headquarters in Stuttgart. So I was there for about 9 months. And it was a very fascinating experience. But 9 months really wasn't enough. It just whet my appetite for the different cultures, the different people, the way people work. So I left Porsche and I went to a company called Mannheim. And the way I got there was a previous colleague of mine from Porsche called me up and said, I've got this great job. I think you'd be a good fit. It's a marketing director position. It's going to take you to the next level. This is what you should do. So I come over to Mannheim. You guys have seen a theme, right? Connections, people, networks, mentors. Listening to the people in your life that are willing to help you, willing to coach you, take their advice, rely on them, and be so grateful. And I'm 39 in a couple days, and I still look for those people in my life. I still ask people, help me. What can I do? How can I be better? Where can I go next? Okay. So 6 years into Mannheim, I realized I have to get back to Europe. I have to get back to international business. So I put it out there into the universe, and everybody I talked to, Anna heard it from me over and over again. I'm looking for a job in Europe, specifically Germany, or somewhere where I can speak German or English. And I just kept doing it, and about a year later, a friend of mine, another former Porsche colleague that I worked with, called me and said, hey, our marketing director in Emer is just not working out. Would you consider that? Absolutely. That was 3 years ago, okay? I've been living now in Stuttgart, Germany for a little under 3 years. And that took me to Corryn Dental, which used to be Kodak, and we do dental imaging and x-ray equipment. And it's been a very challenging 3 years, moving my whole life. My whole life went over to Germany in 5 small buckets. I got rid of everything and I just started. But unbelievably rewarding. So, der Weg ist das Ziel. I love this quote, because I think if we focus less on the actual goal and the path that we're taking to get there. So my example of all that quick kind of run through of my life since Pensacola, Porsche, Mannheim, Carestream, now I've ended up standing here in front of you guys. The path has been amazing. It coached me and helped me and brought me exactly where I am. Everything else was luck and fun. So what is it like living and working internationally? Very, very challenging. It's exciting. It's rewarding beyond your wildest dreams. Most importantly, there are a lot of things you have to kiss goodbye. And there are many things that you get to say hello to. Who here drinks Diet Coke? Can you drink warm Diet Coke? You can drink warm Diet Coke. She's been in Europe. Okay. You will have to say goodbye to ice cold drinks. For that matter, you have to say goodbye to ice in general. They just don't believe in it. To be fair, the temperature over there is pretty cold, so room temperature tends to be pretty cold drinks, but I can't drink a warm Diet Coke. I just can't do it. So I walk around and I go to all the vending machines and I pull it out and I feel it, no, not cold enough. And then I go to another store and I pull another one out. But with that, you get to say hello to the best beer in the world. And I'm not just talking about Germany. I'm talking about Czech Republic, United Kingdom, Poland. I mean, it's really got some of the best beer in the world. Angela Merkel loves it. I love it. Beer festivals. Anna definitely loves it. You also have to kiss goodbye to not following the rules. Crossing the crosswalk when it's red, that does not happen in Germany. And I find it really amusing. You will get a ticket sometimes. And I've asked, I'm like, look, if there's not a car coming, why can't I? And they always say, because what if a child is watching you? If a child watches you, then they think it's okay to cross when it's red. It's actually a pretty good concept. And Anna always told me, think about it, you've got so many millions of people living on top of each other in a country the size of Alabama, right? They have to have order, they have to have conduct, they have to have rules. Okay, so you kiss goodbye to breaking the rules and going off beat, but you can say hello to unlimited speed limits on the Autobahn. Driving really, really fast. This is my car. This was me earlier, a couple weeks ago actually. That was a lot of fun. That's kilometers, so who can do the math on that? What's miles per hour from 236 kilometers per hour? It's about 150, 140? Something like that. You can kiss goodbye to being lazy at university, at work, slacking off for any reason. I'll tell you, it's really funny at my office. If you're caught looking, and not caught by a manager, your colleague sees you goofing off or looking at Facebook, they will give you a hard time. And they will judge you, and they will act like, oh, this person's really lazy. Even though you're just taking a 10-minute break to blow off some steam, surf the internet. The culture is just so different. There's a reason that the German culture has succeeded so far, and that their business and their economy is one of the best in the European Union. They have a mentality, and they do not slack off. But by not slacking off, I call it the work hard, play hard concept, you get 6 weeks of vacation, 30 days of holidays. Those of you that haven't been out in the workplace yet here in any form or fashion, when you leave university, you will get 1 week your first year. And they're not even legally obligated, I think, to give you that 1 week, but they usually will give you 1 week. After your first year, you'll get 2 weeks. And then that usually stays for a while until like 5 years, and they might give you another week after that. It's the law. You have to have 6 weeks of holiday, and then you also get unlimited sick time, and you get all of the country holidays, so like 10 or 11, like our Memorial Day, our President's Day, they have those sort of equivalents over there. Kiss goodbye to good service. Going to a restaurant, not having to wave a waitress down to get you a drink. Somebody actually saying please and thank you when they take your order. It just doesn't happen. They're not tipped, so they don't have the same culture that we have of service. It can be very frustrating when you're sitting in a restaurant. There's even a law in the city I'm living in that if you ask for your bill 3 times and they still don't bring it, you can leave without paying. Because it's that bad sometimes with the service. Okay, but the good thing you get to say hello to is no tipping. They do a trink geld. They call it trink geld, and what it means is if your bill is like $9.20, you leave 10. You just leave the change. Whatever's left would be the rounding up of the number. And quite honestly, I know people that don't leave ever anything, and there's no stigma to that. Nobody gets upset. The other thing is you can camp at a table. If you and your friends go out for a drink or just a dinner or coffee, they're not going to look at you funny like, get up, it's been an hour, it's time to go. You could sit there for hours and hours and hours and enjoy one drink and nobody will say anything to you. As an American, my culture, and I think y'all's culture is probably very similar, you go into a restaurant and you eat and you're done in 1 hour, right? The Germans that I work with and I've been getting to know and living, they think I'm crazy. So I'm sitting there like, okay, we haven't eaten, we've been here, nobody's asked us for our order, we've been here 10 minutes already. I have not really had a meal under an hour and a half, 2 hours in a restaurant. It just, you really have to plan and think about it and rush and be like, I have to get out of here. Okay, for the ladies in the room, kiss goodbye to high heels, nice shoes. So I get to wear these lovely black, I call them my granny shoes. Because you will break your heels, you will break everything. You have to be very, very practical. But what you can say hello to? Layers. The Germans have a saying, there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. So if you go out and you're not prepared for the weather, if it starts to rain and you don't have a hoodie on your jacket or a little mini umbrella, they will look at you like you're an idiot. Why did you come outside today? So it's all about layers, it's all about really comfortable shoes, wedges. Old cobblestone roads are not good for heels, and you walk everywhere. Kiss goodbye, really big refrigerators and freezers. You know, all those frozen pizzas. I think if you guys are like me, you're surviving them from college. You can't get them. You can get them, but it's not a common thing to have a gigantic refrigerator or a gigantic freezer. Hence, also, ice cubes. But what you get to say hello to is the freshest food. You shop every day, or you shop every 2 days. You get your food fresh every day. You get your food pretty much very local. It's one of the things I tell everybody when they say, you grew up in Florida. Why did you move to Germany? You know, the weather's terrible, this and that. It's healthy. It's such a much more healthy lifestyle. You're always walking. All your food is fresh. That is actually a refrigerator I used to have. My friend from the US was fascinated by it, so he took a photo of it with his foot in front of it to show all his friends how tiny my refrigerator is. I put this in here because I forgot to mention earlier, when I was here at Auburn, Papa John's had just opened up and I worked there full time while I studied because I didn't have a scholarship and I didn't have money from my family. And it was quite a good experience. I was a delivery driver. And I literally lived off of Papa John's pizza. I figured out ways to make breakfast pizza. I figured out ways to make dessert pizzas, all different things so that I could eat pizza every day and not have to pay for food. just eat for free. No Papa John's in Germany or Europe in general, but you get to say hello to Naples pizza. It's so close to Italy, the pizza is 1,000 times better and way more delicious. There's one thing I didn't put in here because I couldn't come up with a graphic for it, but say goodbye to modesty. That also doesn't exist as much, and I've had a hard time with it personally as an American. I was recently in an emergency room, and the door's wide open, and they take your top off, and they're doing all their doctor inspection stuff, and people are just walking by. And you're sitting there like, can someone shut the door? And they look at you like you're crazy. So those were the main things that I had that I wanted to talk to you guys about. But most importantly, I wanted to give you guys some time to ask me questions. If you have any questions about how